Hey everyone, Professor Falconer here, and this is year 2 of my addiction. So, if you remember from last year, I talked about how I have a food addiction. It is a constant problem. It doesn't really go away like any addiction, really. You don't you're never cured from an addiction. You just learn to deal with it and you conquer it and you control it, but it's always with you. And in this past year, I've endeavored to do my best to get better. In the previous year's video, I talked a lot about what food addiction is, and I feel like I don't need to go into that since I already did. If you want to get into more detail on what food addiction is, you can check out the last year's video, which I will link to at the end of this video. But what I do want to talk about is what I've been doing in the past year in order to manage my addiction. It's been a long process. Lots of therapy sessions have gone into the past year, and I'm happy to say that I've been making progress. What I've done is I have started using MyFitnessPal on a daily basis in order to maintain a set number of calories every single day. I do not go any further than my set number, which I've put in as 1,950 calories. My body, I'm 6'4". I'm currently last time I checked, I'm about 388 pounds, which is actually good because I've lost weight over the past year. We'll get into that later. I burn a lot of calories. I burn more than that just being sedentary, just sitting still and not doing a whole lot of work or exercise. So eating less than that every day, while eating enough to maintain my basic functions and to make sure I'm not being malnourished or I'm not hurting myself by eating too little, means consistent weight loss on a regular basis. I have Sundays off. I take those as cheat days, and I enjoy them very much. And I know that some people have said, they've given me advice saying like, you should only have cheat days every so often, or you shouldn't have cheat days, you should have cheat meals, stuff like that. And I do appreciate the advice, and I appreciate the feedback I've been getting, but with all due respect, this is working for me, and I'm going to keep doing it my way for now. Until something changes, or until I find something better that I can live with, this is what I'm doing. And that's how it's going to be. And it's worked so far. I've lost weight on a consistent basis since then. I'm averaging about 1 to 2 pounds a week, which is ideal. It's actually perfect for weight loss, responsible weight loss, according to my doctor. So I'm definitely meeting her approval, and it has helped me in many ways because there are some days where I want to eat a whole lot, but I'm currently I've been calling myself on the wagon. Like anyone trying to be sober, I'm on the wagon in terms of my food addiction. So I've been on the wagon for 56 days now, and counting. I started on March 18th, and I'm pretty sure it's 56 days, give or take a couple of days. MyFitnessPal knows. I can check that, but I've been doing this consistently for almost 60 days now, and almost 2 months, and it's working. It's working well, and I feel that this is something I can continue to do. So I'm going to, and it's been working. Because like I said, sometimes I want to eat a whole lot, but the limit and me wanting to keep the streak going is what keeps me from giving in to those urges. And contrary-wise, there's days where I don't want to eat at all. Like I am sick of food and I just don't want to deal with it, but I know I have to take in enough calories to keep myself going if I want to stay on the wagon, because food addiction isn't just overeating. Food addiction is a wide variety of things, and so to have that consistent goal that I must keep every single day except Sundays, that has helped me so much. It's helped me to stay on track. It's helped me to stay focused, and it's been a very positive experience. Plus, it has a water meter, which is great for me because, stay hydrated and all that, kind of my motto. But that's been helping me too, because now I have a way to gauge exactly how much water I've been having on a daily basis and how much I need on a daily basis. And more often than not, I find myself going over the goal for water and not forcing it, which is the best part. I'm just thirsty, and so that's been very helpful for me. So, what about the thoughts? The part of addiction where you're obsessively thinking over food. I've noticed that while I'm certainly more mindful of what I eat, and I'm certainly more mindful of how many calories are being put into my body on a daily basis, I don't actually think about food as much as I used to. It's kind of a thin line to walk on, because you have to wonder if being so detail oriented about my meals, is that giving into my addictive thinking, or is that helping to overcome my addiction? And I think 9 times out of 10 it's the latter. It's certainly helpful. I don't really have the same thoughts about food that I used to. Sometimes I do, but more often than not, I don't. And I feel that has helped my anxiety a lot, for sure. I notice now that because I have a set pattern, and because I'm keeping with this routine on a daily basis, and trying my best to meet the calorie limits, and try my best to make sure that my food stuff is locked down, now that's kind of an afterthought, and now I'm focusing on other stuff that is important to me. And I feel that is a step up from where I was. So I'm quite happy in that regard. So what's next? What's next for me in terms of my food addiction? Well, for now, it's pretty much stay the course. I have a lot to do in terms of weight loss and taking better care of myself physically, but I'm on the right track, and that is easily the most important part. I feel that I'm in a better place now than I was last year, for sure, and that has been mainly thanks to therapy and the consistent schedule and routine that is my eating habits now. I no longer am just eating all willy-nilly. I've started making far healthier choices, or at least choices that are more calorie conscious, and it's really broadened my horizons in terms of what to eat. I've come to realize that if they're prepared properly, I actually like vegetables, which is amazing. I think that's partly due to the fact that my dear sweet mother, who I love very much, and today is Mother's Day, by the way, so happy Mother's Day, Mom. My dear sweet mother had no choice, because she was so busy, but to use a lot of canned veggies and a lot of frozen veggies, and they're awful. They are awful, and I think that really played into my hatred of vegetables for a long time. But now that they actually are fresh and they're prepared in different ways, and they've got seasoning and stuff like that, it's really opened my eyes to how diverse and truly great vegetables are. And I look forward to having more new experiences with healthier foods in this upcoming year. I may even film some, so stay tuned for that in the future. But I think the future is looking good in terms of my addiction. I'm going strong. I'm, like I said, nearly 60 days on the wagon, and I have no intention of stopping. I've got a good system going for me now, and I think this year has been one of significant progress. And looking forward to next year, I think year 3 is going to see a lot of changes for the better. I remain hopeful. I'm optimistic for what's going to come, and I am grateful to all of you for your words of support, your kindness, your advice. It's every bit of it is appreciated, and even if I don't implement some of the advice that I've been given, I still appreciate it because it means that people care. And when you get the idea, when you know that people care, that makes all the difference. That really, there's no better motivator than knowing that you're not alone. And that's partly why I do this video on a yearly basis, because I want people out there who have food addiction to know that they're not alone. What you're doing is tough. It's incredibly difficult because you can't just not eat. You can't quit food cold turkey. Like, that's a huge hurdle to overcome with food addiction. Quitting cold turkey. But what I mean to say is, this is tough. This is difficult. It takes a lot of strength to do this. And for those of you out there who have these same challenges, who are overcoming these same difficulties, you're not alone. That you have people who love you, you have friends who support you, and it can be done. With help from friends, with perseverance, with therapy, with medical help, this stuff can be managed and maybe one day even conquered. So, yeah, here's to year 3. But for now, I'm going to continue to take it one day at a time. So, until next time, this is Professor Falconer saying, as always, stay hydrated. Oh, and again, happy Mother's Day. Good stuff.